Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. A couple minutes of IT security things on the top of my mind. Right on to you. So last night was a MISEC meetup. So MISEC, the Michigan Security Community, they hold meetups in a couple different locations. Last night was Southfield, so I was out there hanging out with some of the local talent. Great time. I always love going out and hanging out, getting to meet people, or what have you. And that was the opening act. I gave the lightning talk and got us all kicked off. And a couple things I talked about was Xcode Ghost and botnets with SQL servers. I'm going to cover both of those today, and I've already talked about Xcode Ghost, but I want to take it in a little bit different direction, and then explain why it's perhaps a little bit disturbing, a little bit concerning. So one, Xcode Ghost, right? So Xcode Ghost was the malware where they packaged version of Xcode. They did SEO techniques. They got developers to download it. Developers download it, compile their apps, and the apps, when compiled with infected version of Xcode, were then backdoored. What was interesting to me about that was, of the apps that they targeted, several of them were payment apps. They, WeChat was the one I talked about last night, where you actually have credit card information stored within the application. So here you have access to defraud people, to take credit cards or make transaction or payments right at the fingertips of the people who are in control of Xcode Ghost. And what did they do with it? Nothing. They built a botnet, and they weren't using any of the in-app functions that they had gained access to. They didn't steal any credit cards. They didn't do any, attacks against that. That made me wonder why, right? Why did they not go to that extra level and extract payment data, or be a little bit quieter and try and get, access to people's bank accounts and whatnot, their banking apps? One. Number two. Second thing I talked about was this new botnet called ChickDOS, or ChickDOS, or Dos Cuartos. I don't know. Dos 2? I don't know. ChickDOS. ChickDOS. ChickDOS botnet is targeting SQL servers, Microsoft SQL and MySQL. So it breaks in, standard web app style, rootkits the SQL server, Windows or Linux, and joins those servers to a botnet. Now these SQL servers, where's our data, right? Payment information, personal information, identities, all that sort of stuff. 9 times out of 10, it's on a database, right? And we talk all the time about how to secure the database, and there's guidance about how to secure it. None of that I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about is, here these guys built a botnet that gained them access to thousands upon thousands of databases, many of which have sensitive data. And what did they do with it? They built a botnet. And now they're using it for denial of service attacks, which is how it was noticed. Obviously, denial of service attacks are very loud. So, wait a minute. You break into iOS apps with Xcode, and you build a botnet. You break into SQL servers with ChickDOS, and you build a botnet. And for most of them, you're doing denial of service attacks, not selling data, not compromising, not doing anything, that you would think a criminal would do. And why is that? At least on the ChickDOS side of it, when looking at it, it's because, and this is so disheartening, it's because the market right now is flooded with stolen identities, that the price has actually come down. We saw the exact same thing happen when Target, the breach happened. The price of credit cards dropped precipitously. So therefore, the criminals no longer are incentivized to steal and sell this data. It's more cost-effective, or more profitable rather, for them to compromise a server and to do a denial of service and do a ransom attack than it is for them to steal the sensitive data that we're trying to protect. Because so much of it has already been breached. Which is kind of a downer, kind of depressing. That said, what does this mean for risk management in 20 seconds or less? If you are doing risk management, one of the main things that you need to get, one of the main pieces of intelligence is you need to know, one of the main inputs into your process has to be, what are the criminals actually trying to do? Because if you're spending a ton of time trying to protect data that criminals are not trying to steal, or you're trying to protect against attacks that criminals are not exploiting, you're wasting your resources, and we all know we are very limited. So risk management, prioritization starts with, what are the criminals trying to do? And today, what they're not trying to do steal data, sell credit cards, at least off check DOS and Xcode. That's it. Cheers.